Okay, let's get straight to it. I'm signing a club deal with TaylorMade. Hi guys, my name is Peter Finch and welcome down to Al Mouj. I'm here in Oman, but I'm going to transport you in a moment back to Wentworth, where I actually had my fitting for my new bag of TaylorMade clubs. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be cutting in and out of this video, just explaining what this partnership means for the channel, what it means for my golf, and what you can expect from this moving forwards. But the first thing we're going to do is head down to Wentworth. We're going to have a look at the tour workshop there. I got my hands on some Tiger goodies as well, which I was exceptionally excited about. And then just before we do the fitting, we're going to jump back here and I'm going to tell you about this partnership. Good morning. You join me on a very, very sunny and pretty chilly day here at TaylorMade HQ, and today's basically getting fit for the gear. I'm going in here because they've redone this space. Last time I was here, I don't know, a good 2-3 years ago, and apparently they've turned it into a whole new office space, a whole new tour fitting centre, and then actually getting the full fitting down at Wentworth. So it's a pretty full day today. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and please comment below on everything that you see in today's video. Desperate for a coffee. That's been a long old drive coming down here. And also, what else? Best artboard I've ever seen, that. Okay, first stop is the tour workshop, and I'm going to be working today with Mark, who is sorting through every shaft imaginable by the looks of it to try and figure out what is going to be going in my woods. Could I open one of these drawers, Mark?
Yeah, no way.
I don't want to mess anything up.
Yeah, this is the kind of new stuff in here. So obviously we're still getting bits and bobs in, but I'm fairly well stocked up. M5s, M6s over here.
I was going to say, do you get tour players coming in here, Mark, or do you get their clubs in, or do you just send out the components? So the
Most of them we'll send out, but if it's new guys that are coming on board, we'll just typically get them in here sort of at the start when they're transitioning into TaylorMade product, and then it's just a case of kind of seeing them on the road and keeping them topped up with their equipment. So usually we'll get maybe a dozen a year in here, I would say.
Okay.
Especially the new guys, anyone that's new kind of signing with TaylorMade, then we'll make sure we get them in here and give them a full going over with their bag.
That sounds familiar.
Just like we're going to do for you.
Yeah, pretty much that, yeah. This is the truck in its dormant state. So the first event, this is going to be out of British Masters once it's been rebranded and stuff?
Yeah, British Masters.
It's an absolute
and then it'll be pretty
beast.
much full on from May right through till kind of September time.
That's a monster. And do you spend most of your time on this, Mark? On the truck?
Well, when the truck's out, obviously this is our sort of home from home.
Meeting
That's the
room.
little chill out area.
Yeah.
So we'll do like meetings with agents, or some of the players like to come on and chill out sort of after practice or something.
So we've got, oh, hello. Wait a minute. Can I touch this? Can I hold this? No way. Actually got. Well.
We've got to keep a spare one for him, obviously.
Okay, I'm going to put that Tiger. I never touched it, I promise. So, whenever I'm choosing a new partner to work with, it's important to kind of check off a couple of things. First of all, do I like the company? Do I like the products? Do I like the people? What is the content that it's going to give me? And then what will it allow me to do in the long run? Now, as far as TaylorMade's concerned, so the people and the clubs, I think everyone knows that they are good. And certainly the people that I've worked with at TaylorMade, they get social media, they get this part of influencer marketing. And that makes it so much easier to add to my content, because that's the second thing. So the deal that I've got with TaylorMade, it's a player club contract, but it's so much more than that, because what it's going to allow me to do is actually get access to certain events. It's going to allow me to get access to players, and it's going to allow me to expand my content into areas which I've just not done before. And as far as my content's concerned, it won't actually affect me because I don't do club review. The only thing that this is going to allow me to do is actually enhance certain parts of what I do. And I think if I was reviewing clubs, to actually take a club sponsorship, puts you in a little bit of a situation where people might not think that you're being genuine, whether it does or not. So I'm quite comfortable with that side of things as well. Okay, before we go into the specifics, let's jump back to Wentworth and see how this fitting was getting on. There's the clubhouse, well, some of the clubhouse in the background, and well, the plan is to just start hitting loads of shots, basically. A little bit more sophisticated than that, but trying every single club out today, including the putter. So there's going to be so much to actually get through. Oh, first swing of the day, absolutely ripped it. So in the performance lab now, fitting is almost getting underway. Do need to have a little bit of a loosen up, considering my 4 hours of driving has not been kind on my back. But I'm sure with the many hundreds of shots I'm going to hit today, it'll soon loosen up. James is just going to watch with his open sandwich. I need to have a look at this open sandwich. Watch on the open sandwich.
Good chicken. It's vacation chicken.
Looks very healthy.
It's going to be difficult to eat without a knife and fork, but we'll make it work.
You'll make it work, yeah.
I'm going to kind of go through a few different weight options with you.
Okay.
So starting kind of similar to what you're playing now in the X100s. We're going to run through, and I'm going to go through a few different weight options, so that'll be interesting to get your feedback on, because really the weight of the shaft is the feel.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to get your feedback on and any ones that feel particularly good to you, because that might be the kind of point where, you know, you're just timing it right once we get the right weight. And then, you know, we'll back that up with, you know, do the numbers correspond with what you're feeling, and then we'll kind of start to work on like your bag setup and finer details like that. Spin tolerances were quite tight.
Okay.
So if you look at like where you were here between a miss hit and a good shot, like 7.7 to 5.9, so you got an 1800 sort of variation in spin.
With a gap, yeah.
So that was the first thing that stood out to me, is you're going to struggle a little bit with your distance control. So that would be one thing I'd really be looking to tighten up. So we're definitely a little bit closer to the mark there.
So first few shots here with, in focus. So P760s to start with, just getting loosened up, just going to get some numbers on the board before going into a more in-depth iron fitting. So what does this line actually do? What's the purpose of the line?
Essentially, it's the lie angle we're looking at, but this is going to tell us the lie angle, so what kind of spin axis you're going to put on the face. So obviously a line going this way would be a fade spin axis, and a line this way would be a draw spin axis. Okay. You can see yours is pretty straight there, and the shot did fly pretty straight as well. But it's also a good indication of heel toe strike as well.
It's the wall of fame. Is this everyone who's been fitted?
Yeah, at some point or another, they've all been through the performance lab here. Quite a lot of footballers and
A bit of 1D action going on.
yeah, one direction.
So what we're doing now, just testing between these two irons, because kind of visually I like the look of both of them. With the spin rates with the P790, this bad boy, just coming out a little bit low. So I'm getting a few absolute rocket ships. And as much as I do love hitting my 79185, I'm not sure how stable that will be across a full season.
Slightly more compact head on the M5 on the left.
I certainly like the look of the M5 more. If I'm good enough to be able to use it, that'd be lovely. And that's obviously the more adjustable of the two.
Yeah. This one's been a really hot product for us.
I was going to say the titanium one as well.
First couple of months as well. Seems easy to launch off the fairway or the tee. We've done quite a few in the 14-degree head as well. Guys have been impressed with that one. But yeah, it's a nice looking compact head. If you have a miss with the woods, what way would they tend to be?
Usually it's left.
Someone that like tends to hit out the toe, if we open up the face a little bit, it's all, if you can imagine, if this is your strike point, if I shut the face slightly, you're almost leading.
Wait a moment, this is gone.
So kind of what I've done with your one here, just with your miss-hit being, you know, a little bit more toe bias, I've tried to find a face angle that's going to help that. So if this is your strike point and this is the centre of the face, if you tend to hit more out the toe of the club, if I open up the face slightly, you're almost leading a little bit more with the heel. Okay. That's effectively what I'm trying to do, and it works vice versa. If I shut the face, it's going to push the strike a little bit more towards the toe.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So the non-contracted boys into the high toes?
Yeah. Especially look on the PGA Tour, there's loads of non-contracted guys using high toes.
Oh, they are good. They are good. Yeah, I'll definitely go high toe.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing a full what's in the bag. So this fitting process that I went through, it was for the full bag, but there's still a few areas that I do need to tweak. So first of all, the ball, I'm still not sure about which one I'm going to go for, 5 or X, which is going to suit me the best. But I also need to sort out the top end of my bag. So the P790, the driving iron, which I absolutely love. I've also been fitted for something else there as well, which I've never actually had before. So I just need to make sure that that side of the bag, the top end, is correct, and that the gapping is correct as well. I was going to say, just talk us through this, bud. Talk us how we actually got to this conclusion, because it certainly wasn't what I was expecting to kind of have. So it's a bit.
Yeah, well, we've kind of worked off the M5. We went through quite a few different shaft options, just finding out one that worked. There wasn't actually a huge difference. I found that, you know, some of the ones that were too soft, we were just maybe a little bit inconsistent, and the ones that were too stiff didn't quite have the speed. So we found a good shaft here in the Di6, I think. It was doing everything we wanted it to do, but like I was saying to you, on some of those numbers, the spin rates were a little bit high and the land angle was a little bit steep. Yeah. So if we could have improved those figures, I said, you know, we're going to have a pretty good driver. So we were talking about maybe tipping the driver shaft a little more. But actually, when we tested it in the M6 head, it seemed to do everything we wanted it to do. Like you say, maybe a little bit surprising, because the M5 is the lower spin product.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But for whatever reason for you, the M6 just seemed a bit more solid. Even to your eye, you said it sat, you know, slightly better. So maybe that was just lie angle, maybe it was face angle. But whatever it was,
who cares,
M6,
right?
Yeah, the M6, exactly. You know, that's why it's always worth kind of trying both options out, because sometimes, you know, one's going to suit a guy a little bit more than the other. So it might be your miss hit with this one seems to be quite often a little bit high on the face, so maybe that one's a little bit more stable.
Yeah, potentially.
You've got a bit more out of the miss hit, but either way, I would say your average ball speeds were probably 2 miles faster with that one. Spin was kind of down, land angle was down, so it was just tightening up all those numbers. So I think you got a good driver there.
And that's the fitting over with. And I've actually just played with Mark, who did the fitting tonight in Alamouge as well, and he's just given me a few extra pointers on the clubs about how to get them settled in correctly, about how to use some of them, especially the wedges with the bounces, and the ball as well. So this is all about that learning curve. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm just excited to see where it's going to go. And guys, this is all about trying to improve my content. That is what this push is all about. And I'm going to have access to clubs when I need them, when I want them, to test out different things, different theories, and do some very specific club videos, which I've wanted to do in the past, but never really had the opportunity. And there's going to be so many giveaways as well. That is something which I'm really excited about, because this is going to be about the content. It's going to be about me trying to improve myself as a player and a coach, but it's also going to allow me to give back to you guys as well, which I'm obviously very keen on doing. I mean, I've done giveaways, loads of them in the past, but this is going to allow me to do even more. So guys, let me know what you think. Please comment below, please like the video, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well, which are all linked in the description below. Right guys, see you soon.